Rise and shine, it's time for D. It's for drama. Today, I am joined by a couple of newlyweds. Please welcome Danielle and Andrew.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle.
My name is Andrew. Are we supposed to do more of an intro?
No.
Okay.
That's fine. The way I know these two are my boyfriend Max and Andrew have worked together for, 7 years now. And they have the most impeccable taste in women because they are both with a couple of Jersey girls. That's the one compliment I can give you guys. You've got great taste in gals.
Agree.
Thank you.
I
do agree.
Are lucky.
We are lucky. We are really lucky. Thank you. I
Super
agree.
lucky. Can't get any better than that. And these two just got married. Woo!
Yes, about 2 months ago.
At first, they had a larger engagement party. That was kind of their main wedding, I guess you could call it, wedding event.
Yes, we had gone to so many weddings that we're like, we're going to have a small 20-person wedding, but we'll do a fun engagement party with everyone.
Which you attended in Jersey.
Yes, in Jersey. You also had a little engagement party on the beach in LA, but then they opted for a little kind of immediate family event, right?
Yes, actual wedding.
Yeah.
So lots of little events that basically was a full-on wedding in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And how was that? I actually haven't even seen you guys since then. So congratulations.
Thank you. So nice.
Was like the stakes were just.
Yeah, I feel like the bride and groom at these big weddings can never relax and enjoy their big moment. And so we kind of wanted to do the opposite by being able to actually enjoy it with the people we love, our family and friends. And we had 20 people in South Carolina and we're able just to go on a boat one day, played pickleball, had really good dinners, and were relaxed.
That's so fun. Yeah, you didn't have any of that kind of bridezilla stress at all.
Exactly.
That's not her. And it was a dream for me because I hate public speaking and events. I would not have enjoyed a big wedding. So she planned everything and it was perfect.
Was that always your idea from the start?
No.
That was my idea. And I had
I
to
wasn't on
slowly
board.
convince Andrew.
Yeah, because I love my friends, but I was like, I'll suck it up and just be stressed for a big wedding. And then it became whatever she kind of envisioned and it was perfect. Yeah.
Well, because that's the thing about Andrew is like you have like 45 best friends, I feel like.
Well, so does she. So it was either going to
Yeah.
be huge or nothing. And then we did the engagement party, which I was like nervous for that. And it was just a party, but it was a lot of people.
Yeah.
So the wedding being like 15 people, family only, was perfect. I would have never done that or thought of that. So props to her.
It was fun. And you guys had like the perfect amount of speeches. The wedding that we went to in Capri over the summer, there was literally 15 speeches. Actually, probably more because there was 3 days of events. And I think there was like 7 speeches a night. As beautiful as that is for the couple. And it was really nice to hear it too as the guest. But like after a while, it was kind of like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I just want to dance or something.
We did have a little drama with that though.
Okay, let's hear it.
So we wanted to make them only a few speeches, like a family member and friends. I had asked my twin sister and my friend and then another 2 friends to do a speech. And then Andrew had asked a friend, 2 friends, and then both his siblings. I also have an older brother and he was very offended when the speeches came that he felt that I didn't love him enough to like ask him to do a speech.
Oh no.
And so after the speeches, he actually like left the engagement party and like went home and was really sad.
Wait, really?
It was messed up by
Yeah.
Danielle.
No, but
I didn't think of
I had
it, which was also
already
messed up.
talked to him before and I was like, there's a lot of speeches going on. I would love for you to do something at the small wedding,
Oh.
but not like there's too many speeches. I don't want to like drag it on so long. But he was offended, I think, because look from an optics perspective, it seemed like, he wasn't close enough with the family that he didn't get, his moment to shine in front of her. And
in
I'm
front
like,
of like all the
is this
friends and
about
family.
your
No,
ego or
no.
is
He was the only one left out. I felt bad, but I didn't think about you talking about speeches being too long. Like it adds up quickly because we had like 6 people, and if each person spoke for 5 minutes, you're already at like way too
Half
long.
an hour,
Like
I guess.
people are
It
out on
didn't
that. So
feel that way.
no.
at
So
all,
then
though.
she's like, tell your brother and sister to do like 2 minutes max. my sister's a little boss. She didn't respond. She's like,
she went
I
way
got it
longer.
picked. I got my speech.
But she had like the best speech.
Hers was
though.
good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but it adds up quickly. So that's why we probably didn't think to include him. But you got to keep it short and sweet.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
And he like was just upset. Did you guys ever talk about it after?
Yeah, I sent him he doesn't really, you have to give him space. And so I gave him space and then we talked the next week. But in the end, it all worked out because at the small wedding, he came up. It was like a 20-minute ceremony. And like a quarter of the time, he came up and like did a reading or a poem for us. And it was really beautiful.
Poems I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet.
It was really
incredible.
Sweet. Yeah.
I wonder if he was like, okay, well, now I got to like go above and beyond now and show them what they were missing the first time.
Maybe. My mom was talking about the poem like 3 weeks later. She was like,
really?
can I get the writing so I can look at it? Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was
Good.
really beautiful.
Yeah.
So it all worked out.
Yeah, I
but-
can see that being more about his ego, I guess. But also, I don't know. I suppose I would probably feel a little left out.
No, it was your grandma.
Yeah, then
sparked
he
it.
like got upset. He like cried to my grandma, and my grandma's 90, and I'm like, why are you
Don't
telling my
get her
9-year-old
blood
grandma
pressure off.
Yeah, like this is the only thing she'll think about for the rest of her life. Great.
Yeah, really. All right, well, a little drama in there. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, first, I want to talk about one unique thing about Danielle and Andrew is that they don't really fight very often at all. And I actually remember because we're in San Diego right now at Max's family's condo, and Andrew's been down here. You've been down here too. But Andrew's been down here more for work. And I remember like literally being right here where we are right now. And I think you guys had just recently got engaged. And I remember being like, have you guys fought yet? And you were like, no, we haven't. And I was like, I think you guys need to like get into a fight because you need to see each other's fighting styles. And they're both like very easygoing people is what it seems like, or
Yeah.
you guys just really get along. I mean, I know you can fight because you have gotten in fights with my boyfriend, so I know it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
But what about Danielle like doesn't trigger that in you?
Well, yeah, I'd say I am easygoing and get
Mhm.
along with a lot of people, but in the moment, I can throw a little fit and be really stubborn in the moment. So like I've gotten in a bunch of fights with Max for sure, but those blow over and like, quickly. With Danielle,
But I also feel like guys, it blows over quickly anyway. Like
Agree-
boys are
agree
a
a
lot
little
more
more.
prone.
Danielle is like world class at just diffusing. Like if I'm about to like get a little angry about something small,
Mm-hmm.
she's just like, I don't know if she ignores me or she just doesn't talk or like walks away. Like she didn't even walk away. She just kind of like keeps
You don't
just
add
talk-
flame to the
she
fire.
adds no flame to the fire.
Yeah.
It just doesn't say anything back
Interesting.
really or like changes the subject. I don't know. It's crazy. So really good
Well,
diffuser.
I like to diffusing, but I also like to like talk about things immediately if I know that
Oh, if
you're
it's a real
mad.
fight. No, if it's a
Yeah.
real fight. But I'm talking about we don't ever
Little
I don't get
tiffs.
in the little tiffs like I would with someone else because there's no response usually.
response.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're kind of like, yeah, why am I upset?
Yeah, it's like, why am I worked up? Wow. All right. I guess
All right,
I'll just
never
chill
mind.
out.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'm
So-
being a little baby right now.
Yeah, yeah, and on big picture, I'm easy to get along with, but little things I could be bad, and that's where I feel like we have it because little things also can turn into bigger fights.
Oh my god.
So-
yeah.
So that's where I feel like why we hadn't been in a fight because there was nothing big. We've only dated for 2
Only
years.
dated.
No, I mean,
We're only dating for like a year and a half before the engagement.
Yeah.
So like nothing big had come up. So it'd be little things that could have turned into bigger fights, which just didn't happen.
just didn't happen. And it still hasn't really happened, right? I mean, we're going to talk about one story.
yeah,
but that
except
was
for
like a
one.
drunken antic.
I
Yeah.
like
Like,
I
since
hate
then-
fighting with people. Some people have it like in their nature to be like a fighter. I'm not like that.
Which
I
is
like
surprising because you're an Aries and a Jersey girl,
Yeah.
which is exactly what I am too. And I'm not a big fighter either, but like if you get like my temper can
Yeah.
unleash a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, I like to get it out immediately and then be like, can we move on from this?
Mm. Oh, so you don't dwell on it. You don't need
Yes.
time to
Hate.
recoup.
I don't need time. I think sometimes I know Andrew needs a little time, so I won't like be so like, let's talk about
For like hours, not like
yeah.
days.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't
yeah.
like going to sleep mad. These are like even not with like Andrew, with how I like treat my like friends and coworkers, and just that's always how I've lived my life. So maybe
Okay,
if
so
that
maybe
works.
it's just that you're the chill one, really. I mean,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you're easy to get
I'm
along with
definitely
and
like
stuff,
type
but
A and like
Oh,
have that
okay.
personality trait, but When it comes to like fighting and I'm not.
Easy to get along with is not the same as not getting in little fights. So I'll give her all the credit for that one.
Now, but have you had to work through a larger issue at all?
Like stress management, maybe like in times where we both have been stressed.
Because there is a study, according to research by renowned relationship experts John and Julie Gottman, studies show that couples who completely avoid conflict and, quote, never fight tend to have less successful relationships, not to scare you guys, indicating that a healthy level of conflict resolution is crucial for a strong partnership. Essentially, not fighting can be a sign of underlying issues like poor communication or one partner suppressing their needs to avoid conflict. So do you feel like either of you has ran into that where it's just like you're avoiding the conflict so that you're not, you're holding in your own feelings?
I guess when we were saying like our definition of fighting is like someone who's like getting into like a heated battle where we definitely like communicate and share our feelings, but it's in like a more
mature way.
Though, you're making me realize I'm not very good. Like I would never share my feelings before her. I would just harbor, and like, you know,
and I can tell
the resentment would grow. So she'll make me talk about it.
Okay.
So I guess that's why we've never even built up anything, because she's like, oh, let's communicate
he's really
what's going
quiet,
on.
And he's like,
really quiet.
He's like silent, and he's like looks like he's thinking, and I'm like, what's going on in there, man? What's going
on?
Yeah.
And then he'll eventually, I remember the story of when we got that fight was in Park City. That one fight.
Oh God.
What happened?
We were dating for a couple of months. We were going to one of his friends' weddings in Park City, and I'm meeting all of his like best friends from college. My way of like getting buddy with some of his friends is like making fun of that person, so then you like feel closer. So I was kind of like making fun of Andrew in like a joking way, just so I could like befriend them fast. Like that's just my, I feel like, defense mechanism that I use.
That's a Jersey thing. Max had to get used to me doing that too. It's like busting balls.
Yes, and I did not realize that, you know, I probably like crossed the line in a few instances. And the next day, Andrew was like really quiet. And I was like, what's going on? Like, I'm in like, I don't know any of these people. And he's like not talking to me.
Yeah, you're icing me out
so I was like,
now.
We need to communicate. And then so he just was very quiet all morning. And then he was a groomsman. So he was about to leave for the entire day. And I was going to be solo. And I was like, hey, we need to talk about this. Like, what is going on? And then he finally told me like that it hurt his feelings, whatnot. And I was like, cool. I was like, noted. I will not do that moving forward. And I'll be more like empathetic to the fact that that's sensitive to you.
It was sensitive for a reason. This is why hopefully she doesn't listen. You know, it was an ex. All my friends thought the ex-girlfriend was really mean to me. Like actually mean.
Yes.
Not jokingly busting balls mean. So then I'm like, I was probably sensitive. So Danielle comes in. They're already worried about me from my last relationship. And I'm like, and she doesn't come off nearly as mean. It was me being in my head.
Right.
But I'm like, oh God, here it goes again. Like they're going to think I have 2.0 of a girlfriend who just like not playfully rips on their boy, like actually is not nice.
Which I'm the complete
opposite.
Which
you're the complete opposite. But that trigger was so quick. It was crazy. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I get that.
That was our other.
Okay,
so
good.
I'm not a sensitive guy, is what I'm saying. You know, I was worried about bigger things in the last relationship.
A little bit of history behind that.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. Two sides of the story there.
No, I mean, I knew that side too, but I wanted you to tell that side.
Yeah. But also you didn't you weren't thinking about that at the time.
No, and then once he told me, I was like, of course, got it. Like,
so then what did you do to stop that? You just didn't
stop
go into that again?
Trying to like rip on him and just
because I also feel like when I meet my partner's family or friends, a lot of the ways to like get in good with them is to kind of like jokingly rip on, because it's all out of love, but it's like, and when they do this annoying thing, or like, oh my God, right when they do that, and it's like a little bit of bonding. I don't know that it's the right move.
That's the best way to do it. No, I think it definitely is.
And I want it back too. Like but I think it was a triggering.
And did they ever say anything?
No. I was probably way more in my head, and she cut it out. You know, she communicated really quickly the next morning, or maybe that day. She's she's like, you seem off. You seem off. Talk to me. Like
keep things in either. I like have to.
Yeah, she's good.
Oh, you're perfect.
Yeah, she's
no,
perfect.
I have a lot of flaws too.
Well, start listing those because we're starting to feel inferior here. Okay. Okay, so first we are going to hear side one from Danielle. So Andrew, if you can please excuse yourself.
See ya. So going back to our 200-person engagement party in New Jersey, again, like I didn't really want to have a big wedding, so that's why I did this engagement party. It was still like a stressful weekend because we had friends and family coming from out of town. Everything ends up going well Friday night, but again, saying hi to family, you know, getting whisked away, not being able to like have any time for yourself. I think we were just on a lot of endorphins and trying to like just be the bride and groom.
Present.
Yes. And so the next day we planned to go into the city and spend time with our friends, and we rented out part of a bar just to have like a football day drinking day into the night.
The loudest bar I've ever been in my entire life.
We realized that we didn't realize that it was going to be a Gen Z bar, and
they all are these days, I swear. No, but because I don't drink, and so if I was drunk, I'm sure I would have been having a great time. But I was like, oh
no, honestly, it was too loud.
Yeah.
Like, can you please turn down the volume?
I know, of all of your voices, please.
So we started drinking at like 11 a.m. We carry on throughout the day. We have whoever was left, you know, at 4 p.m. Then we go find a place to have a big long group dinner. That takes us to about 10 p.m. That's when like my eyes are starting to like get drunk and sleepy, and everyone's like, you should go home, and I'm like, nope, I'm staying out. I'm gonna be the last one standing too. Just want to enjoy the being with everyone. So we end up going to another few bars. We end up at this bar in New York called Hunnies. Everyone is very lit. One of our friends goes home with Andrew's brother.
Ooh,
all of this, yeah.
Well, that's fun.
And I'm like, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
So we get in a cab, and as we cross the street, we see Taco Bell, which is Andrew's favorite fast food restaurant. And of course, his eyes light up. Even though we had dinner a few hours ago, he's like, I'm getting Taco Bell. And I'm like, all I want to do, we're so close to home. I just want to get, you know, to the hotel in my pajamas and go to bed. And so we get to Taco Bell. Andrew's like, it's like one of those like touch screens that you order from.
Yeah.
He's taking his time of like ordering like 5 quesadillas, I don't even nachos, supreme, I don't know, all of those different. He like literally, it was like a bill of like $50, and I didn't want any of it. Like all I want to do is to get home, but I hate like wasting food. It's like my biggest pet peeve. So I'm like, you're gonna order all this and not eat it. And so I said something in that moment of like, you should get half of that, and that was like a trigger for him. And he immediately was like, I don't like when you tell me what I can't order. Like, I'm going to eat this. You don't need to eat this. And I think he like misconstrued what I was saying. Anyways, he went off of like, I'm ordering this right now. I was like, great. Well, I'm going to wait outside. And then we were kind of like, I could sense that he was really mad at me. So then I got mad at him because I was like, I'm not doing anything wrong in my eyes. And we're like literally like so mad at each other for no reason. I don't know why. Now at this point, I feel like we're just even mad because that other person's even more mad. He's like, you know what? I'm so mad. I can't even eat this. And I was like, so you're not going to eat this? And he didn't even throw it away. He left it in the hotel room. So it was just like smelling. Our hotel room like smelled of Taco Bell too. And
well, and that's what you wanted to avoid, I feel like.
Yes, because you know, like it's 12. I don't need this around me. I also like had a full day. I'm trying to eat healthy for my wedding. That's going to be a month later. Like, this is not what I need.
Yeah.
And like, literally, we're both sitting on, like, sleeping on the edge of the bed on the opposite sides. Because we're like, do not come near me. And I'm like, is this marriage going to work? Like, truly, I was like, this is, I don't know. I'm questioning
everything.
Yes.
Thank God it was your engagement night, though. Like, imagine if it happened on your wedding night. That would be even worse, because it would be like, oh my God, we just locked it in, and now.
I mean, it might as well could have been our wedding night, because I was like, this isn't, I don't know if I want to move.
All because of fucking Taco Bell.
Yeah, so the next morning we wake up and we're still a little mad at each other. We're like, sorry. Yeah. And I was like, sorry. But like, it took a while to get over it.
How long?
Okay, no. So from the engagement party that Sunday, we did things out of order, and we went on our honeymoon from there. And honestly, we got to JFK. We're both really hungover. We get to JFK. He doesn't like input his like pre-check number, so we have to wait in like an hour and a half line at JFK, which is awful.
An hour and a half?
Yes, in the security line.
It was a Sunday.
Yes, it was awful, truly. And I'm like just sitting on top of my suitcase, rolling it, like so sad.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until we got to Italy that we were like, okay, we're going to put that behind.
And did you have to talk it out, or you kind of were like,
Oh, we were
let's
both like,
just
we were just
drunk?
Drunk idiots. Like,
Yeah.
I made him apologize more afterwards because he was like, there was something that like switched. And I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was like your first time really seeing that, right? I mean, I think you guys were really just like drunk and probably exhausted. It was like 12 hours of drinking, right?
Exhausted. And we didn't even sleep the engagement party night. We didn't sleep at all. I think we were just on like so much like endorphins and like.
And then you had to go to the daytime party the next day. Oh,
and even the night
shit.
before that, I didn't sleep because like I was just stressed about. I hate being like the center of attention with a lot of people, so just like not my vibe.
Yeah, you guys actually played it really good with like having the engagement party be the crazy party thing, because imagine if this was your actual wedding, like you probably would have been so depressed that that's how your wedding went.
Oh my God.
Where you didn't sleep, you were nervous to be in front of people, you were like drinking for 12 hours, and then you ended up in a huge fight with your husband.
Yeah. No, I'm so happy. Then the wedding a month later was so relaxing and we could really just like enjoy it.
Yeah, and just be with family where you're not even if you are the center of attention, like you're so comfortable with them. Because did you feel uncomfortable being the center of attention with his family, or do you feel comfortable with his family?
No, I feel comfortable with his family. And it was like so chill that like even like right before the ceremony, we're like, okay, we're going to start this in 5 minutes. Everyone good? And we're all like, okay, we're good to go.
Yeah.
And then it was like 15, 20 minutes long. And we're like, okay, that's over with. Like, let's go get a drink. I'm going to go change into something comfy now. Like, pictures are done.
Yeah, that's so nice. Smart.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything else you need to add to your side?
No.
Should we get Andrew in?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what he has to say.
He's got some strong opinions. He is like, I'm the one that's right here. So I'll be the judge of that.
Yes.
All right. Let's get Andrew in. All right, Andrew. Let's hear it.
All right. That was a long time. I actually went 2 rooms over, so I couldn't be influenced by
so you didn't even hear it.
Whatever misinformation she put out there. I could hear her talking, but I couldn't hear the details.
Okay, great. Actually, I like that better. Let's hear it.
And my version will be a little quicker. I was gone for a while.
Okay. Ooh, shots
so how
fired
it
already.
starts is we had the engagement party, which, you know, everyone's like, why are you so nervous going into it? And it's like, it was 100 people and their speeches. I'm like, I'm not like nervous about putting the wedding ring on her, like who I'm going to marry. It's the event. So I'm like, it was a wedding. So like for 3 days leading up, she didn't sleep for one night. She's less nervous than I was. I'm like on fumes, like going up to the engagement party. We had it. It was a blast. And then we wake up the next day and we go into the city. So we start drinking again at 12 o'clock. And we're like, all right, it'll be a day thing. We'll call it and go back, and 4 o'clock will be done. That rolls into a dinner. She's on fumes at dinner. She's like, I'm going to go home. And then I'm like, I'll stay out with my buddies. Someone convinces her to stay out. So then we're out later and later. So we're both really tired. Yeah. And then at this point, I'm starving. So I was like, I see Taco Bell, which is like one of my happy places once a month.
Well, she said that you had just eaten like.
We had a dinner, but that was at like 6, and we shared some stuff. I was
so this was like
hungry.
6 hours later.
Yeah, we kept it going. I wouldn't say it was a while later.
I mean, when I'm drunk, I'm hungry the entire time. Basically, I'm always starving.
Well, and you know, I eat a ton. Yeah, and I do get hangry. So I'm like, I'm gonna get what I want here, and I get the same order every time. So I get 2 chicken quesadillas, and if I'm really hungry, I get some tacos on top. So we get to this Taco Bell. Okay, I order that. She can't eat a whole quesadilla, or maybe she didn't want a whole quesadilla, but I put 3 chicken quesadillas in. And she subtracts one of the quesadillas. And I'm like, lady, I'm starving. What are you doing? And she's like, no, it's going to be so wasteful. We're going to waste this food. And this is a little hazy, but I know that I wanted all my food. And usually.
You were going to eat it all.
Oh, yeah. And I was so hungry. And I was going to finish that food with some fire sauce. I might have been hungry after being finished. Okay.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't even enough.
He was ravished.
I was so hungry. And then this is where so then she was, instead of being the diffuser as usual, I'm like, I'm putting the food back on. She amps up for the first time.
Okay.
Oh yeah. She's like, she puts her foot down. She's like, no, it's going to be wasteful. You're going to feel disgusting. And is like really getting mad back at me.
Yeah.
And then we're at Taco Bell looking like nut jobs because we were actually going at it for like 5 minutes. And then
Yeah, were people staring?
For sure. I remember looking, I was like, oh, this is so awkward.
Inside the store?
Yeah, yeah. But I'm like, I'm so mad at her. Like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
So we're going to go. And I think I did get my quesadilla added back, but she was pissed and I was pissed.
So it was all over one quesadilla.
The subtraction of the quesadilla I put in. Yeah. Why,
So
why does it
even
matter? First of all, I'm going to finish it. Second of all, it's $5. Third of all, actually, Taco Bell might have been $8.
What?
Oh, Taco Bell prices?
It's that much now?
Oh, yeah.
You're kidding.
Awful.
I thought it was like $2.
No. But pricing aside, that shouldn't have mattered to her. And I don't know why and I always finish my food. Always. And I was starving and we just had a huge weekend.
Yeah.
So it's like, you let me get my food.
Yeah.
That's why I was livid.
Okay.
And then usually she wouldn't care. But then we were both on fumes. So I reacted poorly. And then she's like, oh, you're being scary, which I don't know if I was being scary. Maybe I was pretty hammered. So I could have responded very poorly.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were definitely mad at each other for like,
okay, but then what happened
12 hours
after? So you get the food.
Yeah, then we got back to our hotel. I spiked it on the ground, and I'm like, I'm not gonna have
food on the ground.
Spiked. It was still in the brown bag into the corner. I was like, I'm not eating it. So we woke up the next day. There was like a 4-pound bag of Taco Bell, untouched, and
the smell is just marinating in the room all night.
The quesadilla. Yeah. It was bad. I thought about eating the quesadilla for breakfast, but it was gross. And then she was the most hungover I'd seen her ever. And she was still not happy with me. And then I was still not happy with her. So we woke up our first day after what was kind of a wedding in a bad place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that happened. That's like more common than you'd think. Just because like alcohol really does fuel things.
Agreed.
And the exhaustion.
And
the stress. And you know how much money gets put into it, and then being the center of attention and hoping it went well and hoping people liked it. Like I feel like there's so many things that probably made you guys then stress. Like it was probably all of that on top of it.
I agree, and that's where I think I heard something serious. She said like, "Oh, what?" She might have been kidding, but she's like, "Well, am I doubting our relationship or like what am I doing?" Like that never crossed my mind because we were so tired, and like when I'm tired, it's like. I'm just not me.
Yeah.
So that serious reaction, I hope she didn't actually feel that way.
Oh, well, should we get her back in
here?
I
hope not. But I'm like, all right, we're tired.
Yeah.
Bad things happen. And the alcohol.
All right, let's get Danielle back in here because I've got some questions.
Why are you smiling? You look like you know you're right or something.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just happy to see you. I missed you in those 2 minutes.
Alrighty.
All right, so when I first heard this story, I think I thought Taco Bell was only $2 per item. So when you said the bill was $50, I thought he got like25 items. But so he's saying 3 quesadillas.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I think you wanted more quesadillas, then you ended up like taking one. I mean, I really wish we could get that bill.
Yeah, where is it? It should be framed in your apartment.
I know. Really should.
I'll check my credit card bill. We know the date.
Okay, let's say 3. The quesadillas are pretty big.
Oh, they are? Okay. I am very unaware of Taco Bell.
I think we need to do a Taco Bell run after this.
Yes.
Only good thing on the menu is the chicken quesadilla.
They are so delicious, and I think selfishly I like didn't want to be around them because then I would want them. And
she was getting ready for her wedding bod.
Ooh, this makes
so you didn't know that.
Yeah, so you were in like, enabling me. It's like a drug. Like that sauce on those quesadillas is like a drug that I didn't want to have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you are probably aware, as most men are, that they should usually get their gal a little snackety snack. Max always knows if I say no to French fries that he'll then get me some. But sometimes I do get annoyed that he gets them because I'm like, A, that's my kryptonite, and I can't say no. And I am trying to not eat poorly.
Yes.
So I do get frustrated then, but sometimes I love it because I'm like, oh, you knew I wanted some.
It was more about it. We were so tired that I just honestly wanted to get back to the hotel.
Oh, that quesadilla was going to change the amount of time before we got home.
That's true.
Yeah, I was so tired. I needed to go home.
No, but the one extra quesadilla. No,
at that point, I was kind of mad that we had to go into the Taco Bell. Like, I should have just went back to the hotel room.
You guys should have gone your separate ways.
Yeah, you should have been like, hey, I'll see you in 10. I'm not going to bring it back. I'm going to eat it. order whatever you want, and then I would have just gone back to the hotel room.
This is where it's crazier. So after dinner, everyone's like, go home. I wanted her to go home. She left. I walked ahead.
I didn't leave. You went and
with the whole group. And the next thing I know, we're at the bar. I'm like, Danielle's here. So she should have been put to bed
hours ago.
5 hours ago. And that's what I wanted.
But
even though I loved her. We weren't in a fight, but she was like woozy.
Yeah.
But so knowing that when we drop off our friends,
I'm getting food
in Chelsea, I remember that could have been a moment where you've been like, to Shannon's point, that
head on home and I'll be back.
Yeah.
Or do you think he should have just not gotten food?
No, he could have gotten food.
Yeah.
We should have separated then.
Okay, now I completely understand the not wasting food. I'm huge on that. I do not like wasting food as well, so I completely understand. But I also understand not wanting for it to be monitored, like, you know, not that she was like counting your calories or anything like that, but I do think that I would.
Was your ex counting your calories? I'm confused because she did. You said that triggered you.
Stuff.
What triggered me? No, I just hate when anyone limits my food. I'm also known as, my mom calls me the human disposal.
That's what people call me, the garbage disposal.
Yeah, it's like I will finish.
Which is such a pro. When I need someone to finish something, I'm like, Andrew, you finish this
Here
now.
You go.
And I am okay. You said Max gets you food. I'm okay sharing my food all day if you order enough. It's not like, this is mine. I'm not weird like that, but you have to get enough.
Yes. No, I agree. And I don't like when people touch my food if there's not enough food.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. And I do also completely understand. Oh, that's another thing I think.
No. Just to talk about, like 2 quesadillas isn't enough for me if she's going to have a sliver. You know, like there's 4 slices on each quesadilla. Yeah. I've had a million in my life. If she takes one of them, that would have been not enough for me. If she took 2 of them, which is probably what she was going to be allocated. Right. Because I know how she munches. Like, then I'm only in 1.5. I'd be livid.
Well, we don't know facts on how many quesadillas were in
If we only got 2, which is what she wanted, she would have eaten half of one.
Half of one, so you would only had 1.5 plus tacos. There's tacos in the mix here
those
too,
are
right?
those are like three bites and you're done.
Okay. The other thing too is, didn't your hotel have a refrigerator that you could have put the leftovers in, and then you could have had them in the morning when you're hungover?
No, we were staying at a gross hotel. It wasn't.
Yeah, but a refrigerator still keeps it cold.
Yeah, but Taco Bell, you don't
do it the next day.
No, after an hour, it's done.
I don't want to argue against myself. The one point, so I do over order sometimes, but I'll bring it home, and I'm a big leftover guy, so I don't waste food. I will get it done.
So you would have eaten it the next.
Taco Bell, that's the exception. If I over order at Taco Bell, it is going to get thrown out because the next day Taco Bell is gross.
Even when it's refrigerated?
No, it's disgusting.
Yeah,
it doesn't taste good.
Well, I am not a Taco Bell connoisseur, so I'll go with what you guys say.
So
here.
in that scenario, I would have.
And how many tacos are we talking?
I don't remember. I wish we had the bill. God.
No, but the itemized.
No.
Oh, but
I could from the New York menu. I could deduce how many we got away with. I think I did win.
Let's go back. We can go to your credit card. We'll do that as
and then
a follow up.
We'll put it on my Instagram. Yeah, and we'll say
we can 100% track down in your statement, in your credit card statement.
It's all over one quesadilla. The other thing too, though, is I also completely understand the feeling of being hangry, though. But you know what? I mean, it all just boils down to you guys were drunk and tired. And what I was saying to Andrew earlier is like, you're coming off of a stressful weekend where you weren't getting a lot of sleep. You were worried being the centers of attention, hoping it went well, probably thinking, did the speeches go too long? Is my brother mad at me?
Exactly.
So all of this stuff was going on. So I don't really know if I can even take a side because it's kind of like, all right, let me really think about this. Oh God.
I truly think we're both in the wrong.
Okay, you know what? We'll let
it be that way. You are both in the wrong.
Yeah.
Because I do think it was very childish for you then to just not eat the food. That's crazy.
Okay.
Because that's exactly what she didn't want to happen, is that the food get wasted, so then all the food gets wasted plus $50 of money. Yeah.
The only thing I think she's the best at like just letting me live my life. Like there's no like monitor, there's no anything. So it's just like, my opinion is just let me eat my food. Mm-hmm. The one thing that goes against that here is, you know, then she would eat it, and I get it. We had a wedding coming up. She didn't want to look at the food. So it wasn't just letting me live my life. I was negatively impacting her with getting food. So I get that now.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be looking at Taco Bell if you're trying not to eat Taco Bell.
Yeah. And I don't think I was negatively impacting your life because Taco Bell
away my Taco
Bell is so bad for you.
No.
That's where in the middle of the night.
Oh no, taking away my Taco Bell that negatively impacted me.
Well, you didn't even have it. So you were being childish because you were like, actually, never mind. I'm going to spite you.
Yeah, no, I didn't say.
All right, so I didn't say I responded.
I didn't respond well.
Your response was a little really bad. Yeah, but again,
I mean, the video from that Taco Bell, let's hope it doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, let's call the Taco Bell, get the itemized receipt, and get the CCTV
footage. That looks scary. She said it looked scary. I was like, oh my God.
When a girl says like, you're kind of scaring me to a guy.
Yeah,
like that's what I use that. And then that probably.
Well, and also because Andrew said that he heard you say that you were questioning things after. And he said, I hope that's not true, but weigh in here. Chime in.
No, I feel like I was like, I need to like process this.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
Because that's what you're supposed to fight. Like you have to understand your fighting styles and how to communicate. So it was more like, okay, how do we like move on from this afterwards?
Because that was the first time, I guess, that you guys really did have a heated argument. And that was probably a little scary for you to see, regardless if he was like actually terrifying you or not. But it was probably just a little scary to see a different side of somebody that you hadn't seen before. But
over Taco Bell.
But exactly what I was saying is that you guys needed that to happen before you got married.
Agreed.
And so I'm actually grateful for Taco Bell in this exact moment because it helped solve a little problem.
There is a silver lining.
It needed to happen. And didn't I say that? I said it needed to happen.
You did say need to happen. That is crazy. And I didn't believe you.
I know. You were like, nah.
And I agree with you now.
Because you know what else is like, you guys are going to have kids. And even though you guys are both pretty good at like problem solving, it sounds like you're going to have two little or, however many little kids that are going to have their own personalities that get thrown into the mix. And so I think it is good for you guys to know how you problem solve. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day, right? And it sounds like you do that in a heated one and then also in ones where you're both like in your emotions. So it sounds like you guys are doing so good. Yeah.
I think as long as we sleep and I get fed, like she will diffuse any situation. Yeah. So, we're in a good place.
So it all worked out. But I guess just because of your reaction, I'm going to take Danielle's side. Because the spike.
The spite spike?
Yeah, the spite spike.
I stand by it. No, I don't. I do not.
But yeah, I guess it's not.
Yeah.
He could have gotten that extra quesadilla and I think it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm okay with that. Yeah. I think I should have sent him there. I should have gone home. You could have ate whatever you wanted and I would have known about it.
Yeah. You could have just been enjoying it in peace. But I'm glad it happened. It needed to happen. And so it's a positive.
We're better
overall.
for it.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So next we are going to get into a little bit of polls. So I did some Instagram polls and I asked my listeners, how long were you two together before you got married? 2% said under a year. 59% said 1 to 5 years. 35% said 5 to 10 years. And then only 4% said over 10. So that's a lot of numbers I just threw at you. But basically the 1 to 5 year mark was the largest. Yes. And that's where you guys fall into. Yep. And what was how long were you together when you got engaged?
We were together like a year and
3 months.
3 months.
A year and 3 months.
And we moved in together after 6 months, 7 months. And it was like the easiest decision to like move in together. And I think that was actually the biggest. It was so easy. But then once we moved in together, I think that was like even more big than getting married, because living with someone and like your worlds collide and are one, that's the biggest change.
That's
versus
true.
Just like a paper that you're signing that you're married, which
right.
we don't even know if we're actually married because the officiant, his dad forgot to sign one thing. So I just recently got a phone call from the probate office that we have to like get something signed.
Oh shit, he forgot.
Taxes might be messed up for 2025.
Uh-oh.
Well, we both lived solo when we were dating too, so we spent a lot of time together. So I think the move-in wasn't, it felt like we had already lived together before the move-in. So we moved quickly from the first, kind of.
And did you do that because your leases were up, or you were like, you made the conscious decision it's time for us to move in together?
No, I think we just wanted to like live together.
Yeah, you did a lease break and I was month to month. So yeah, we just wanted to move in. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, because Max and I moved in after a year, but I always say that I think it was probably a little bit of a mistake. We were a lot younger too, though. I think that a lot of times when you're older, and that's why my next poll is that I was asking people how old they were when they got married, because we moved in together when we were like maybe 25-ish. So
yeah, we were different people at 25. Like truly, I think timing matters. And so it moved. It felt so right because we were both 33.
Mm-hmm. Because we spent a lot of time together too. But I remember being like, not every night that we're together is going to be date night. Like you have to be aware of that. If this is our home together, I need to have some nights where I'm just like watching The Office and chilling, like where it's not just like we're spending quality time together every single night. Because I need nights where, not that I'm not going to talk to you, but it's like we're not going to be like having sex every single night. Like I tried like to prepare him for that. Our relationship, even though we spend most nights together now, is probably going to change. And even though I prepared him for that, like, there still was issues around that. So did anything like that happen with you guys?
No, I think the age makes it way different.
Yeah.
Like we were 33 and you just know what you want. It's just easy. So no, that was just age. Big difference.
Do you think that because you started dating a little bit older, over 30, that the timeline of it moving quicker just made more sense because you both were like more sure of who you were and you knew what you wanted and you had more dating experience in the past?
I feel like after 3 dates, I like know if there's like red flags or if I'm feeling it or if I'm just like in it just to like, because I want companionship, but I don't actually like the person. But this just felt like
you just knew.
It just felt right.
It felt right.
Aww. And I was tired of dating.
So she was like, all right, this guy's good enough.
Yep.
I look at people and I'm like, who are on dates. I'm like, oh my God, that's so exhausting. That's exhausting.
She says that every night. I'm like, you might literally just be with me. So you're not in the
dating
world.
You don't have to go in the dating world.
Because I was really putting in the work. Before we got together, I was going on a lot of dates.
You were, you were trying. You were going for it. That's how I felt with Max and I too. Like I was out there. We were talking about this last night, but I was like, I'm determined. I'm finding a boyfriend this year. And so I was just like on all the dating apps, asking all my friends, like meeting people out and just like, going for it. And it can work.
I was in the same mode that year, but I had kind of given up by the time I met her. But yeah, it was time.
They do say that's what happens sometimes, like when you give up.
Or I was just being like I was being open to meeting a bunch of people. So I think that's when you feel, and I was feeling like happy in my own skin too. So I think that's the other thing.
Yeah. And secure in your careers and things like that too. Had you guys both lived with anyone before?
I hadn't.
Oh.
No.
Not really.
You lived with your ex for like a month.
Well, no. Less. Didn't even really move in. Yeah, no.
It didn't last longer than that?
No.
And you broke up?
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay.
No, it wasn't because of the move-in. It was in the works, which is why.
Oh,
I've never lived with a significant other.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good that it worked out then.
Yeah.
Like first time.
Yeah.
I think when it's right, it's so easy.
Yeah, it just works.
It's like fun to go home to your bestie.
I know. That is nice. Like I'm always hoping Max is home when I go home. And that's such a good sign, I think.
And I travel so much for work. And so Andrew's usually home. And I'm like, he's like, can you come home, please?
Oh, yeah. It's always harder for the person that's home.
Yeah.
Whenever the other one's on a trip.
Yeah.
Like Max will be like, you don't ever call me. Like you never check in. And I'm like, well, because I'm like, I'm
out and about.
Spending time with my friends and family. I forget. And then whenever he's gone, I'm always like, oh, come home, please. But I did do a little follow-up because 59% were in the 1 to 5 years. So I wanted to break it down a little bit further. So I said, if you guys voted that, what was the actual year? Yeah. So 14% said between 1 and 2 years, so after the 1 year mark.
Yeah.
And then 34% said between 2 and 3 years. 14% said 3 and 4 years, and then 38% said between 4 and 5 years. So the 4-year-ish mark was the biggest, but the 2-year mark was like the second.
Yeah.
Most popular.
Actually getting married?
For getting married, yeah. I guess I should have done engaged, but
1.8 years.
Yeah, you were almost in the 2-year
mark. Yeah,
mark.
it depends on
So you were in the 1-year
like
mark.
If you meet someone earlier on and whatnot.
Yes. Well, and that's why my next poll was, how old were you when you got married? So the polls only give me 4 options. I really wish it could have been more. I tried, at first I was like, maybe I'll do it on 2 separate slides, but then I was like, then how do I break up the percentages? So if anyone knows any math wizards out there to help.
Right here.
But, so I did, can you make me an Excel spreadsheet to try and figure this out?
Got it.
So this one was, how old were you when you got married? So I did under 20, that was only 3%. 20 to 25 was 26%. And then I did 25 to 35. I know that's kind of a big age range, but I wanted to, leave room for people that got married over 35 too. So I did 25 to 35, and that was the biggest age. That was 68%, which I was kind of assuming. Yeah. Especially our generation, late 20s, early 30s, that makes most sense. So that's where you guys were.
Mm-hmm.
And then over 35.
But the end of that,
Yeah, on the tail end. And then over 35 was 4%.
Small.
I know. At first when I had made the slides, I was going to do like over 40 or like over 50 or something, because there's a lot of people that happens to too. But I mean, all of these are going to be like so skewed, because it's like who's the demographic that's voting, and who's actually like how many number of people. So I don't know, but it is interesting to see. And yeah, I think for our generation, you're definitely going to get the little bit older crowd. If I had just polled boomer generation, I bet that it would have been like more the 20 to 25 range, right?
Doesn't sound healthy to me.
No, well, the frontal lobe. Well, actually, one of our listeners that wrote in, she did say that she got married at 23, I believe, but she was saying that she wishes that she waited a little longer because her frontal lobe wasn't even developed then. So she was like, if I could go back, I would have maybe done it at like 25 or 20. I think she said 28, actually. She would have wanted to wait a little longer. But they're still married and happily married. So it worked out. It worked out. All right. So should we get into our first story?
Yes.
My brother got married yesterday, but he and his wife skipped their own reception. No one even knew they were going to do it except for one of their friends, so it was a complete surprise and really embarrassing, to be honest. They decided to get married locally, which was nice because I'm sure most of you agree that having to travel somewhere else for a wedding is a pain. This is what was supposed to happen. After the wedding, my brother and his wife were supposed to be introduced to everyone in the reception hall. The guests would chat and drink for an hour before the food was served. During that time, all the photos would be taken. After that hour was up and the photos were done, the food would get served and the reception would start. Well, what actually happened, their friend was supposed to introduce them, but then they told everyone that my brother and his wife had left for their honeymoon and thanked everyone for attending. And then the food started getting served right away. The photographer had been sent home. Apparently, my brother and his wife did their photos before the ceremony and took some with some of their friends and her parents, but no one else, including anyone in my family. Obviously, we were embarrassed. My parents were angry and they talked to the friend because my brother and his wife weren't answering. Their honeymoon was supposed to be in a few months, but apparently they canceled it 2 weeks ago and switched it to a different honeymoon that was now. They were already on their way to the airport and had left their cell phones with their friend. He had them when my parents talked to him.
One of the oddest things I've ever heard.
Isn't that crazy?
This is bizarre.
My question is, why on earth would they leave their cell phones with the friend to go to the honeymoon? Like, don't you want to have your cell phone on you when you're on vacation? I mean, I know a lot of people like to unplug, but I think you would need it for like boarding passes, that kind of information. What, did they print everything out on email?
Okay, the phone part was weird. That was not the weirdest part for me. The weirdest part might have been leaving after your wedding ceremony. And the worst part is it was premeditated.
Yeah.
Because they had their trip planned. It's
Yeah.
not like, it's not like someone
like-
felt sick and was like,
Are they a couple that like to pull pranks and they're like, gotcha? Like,
Yeah.
was this like forced?
I hate them. I hate them both.
Like the parents really wanted this wedding, but they didn't want the wedding. So they're like, we're going to get back. And I feel like you're bringing everyone together. Like your obligation is to like, connect with family and friends and make sure they're having a good time, which is what we did not want to do on our wedding weekend. That's why we had a smaller wedding.
Yeah, you didn't want to have to deal with hosting, basically. Yes. You wanted to enjoy it.
Yeah. Wait, so do we know who sent this story?
No.
Like, you don't know these people? Because I would love to hear how long this couple stays together.
I know. Good point. Yeah. So do you think that's a bad sign for them?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, why?
One of them's got issues upstairs and made this move. And there's no way they stay together more than I'd have the over-under at 2 years.
Yeah. Do you think that one of them maybe had like social anxiety or something, and so then they were like, let's duck out of there, because maybe, like you were saying, there's pressures from the family to have a bigger wedding?
Yeah, but there's like so many other ways to handle it.
No, okay. That made me feel bad for a second if it was social anxiety and you had a panic attack and you left. But the problem is this was premeditated.
Yeah, the honeymoon.
The premeditated part means it was not social, like a spur of the moment. I feel terrible. That means they thought it through and thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And to do that to all your friends and family. But if you think about it, like if I was the friend there, a guest, I would just be like, okay, that's so crazy. And like, what's going on? But I would kind of almost love the drama of it, of course. But I would also then just like, okay, I'm going to eat and drink and enjoy the night.
Yeah.
Like realistically, I almost never speak to the bride and groom on the night anyway. If anything, it's almost like they're celebrities where like if you can like get a little high into them for like a little second, you're excited that you got to speak to them. But for the most part, I'm almost like, yeah, I don't want to annoy them. Even when my best friend got married and I was her maid of honor, I almost felt like a little, I don't want to bother her. Like I feel like she should be spending time with the ones that she doesn't get to see that often, realistically. And so I guess if the bride and groom weren't there, it's kind of like, okay, it doesn't really change my experience. Or would you leave? Would you stay the night and like dance and stuff?
I would stay. It depends on who, like the crowd. And if I was like at a random wedding, that we were like there,
it was just you two, yeah.
Or if we knew a lot of people. I think though they could have handled it different. They could have. I actually like the ones.
You think?
I've never been to one of these, but there has been like people host like an engagement party and that's actually the wedding. And I think that's kind of fun.
Where it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of those too. And I think that's nice because I think it takes pressure off of you.
Yeah.
You're not with the bride and groom, so it's all about the friends. So if it was like my UVA crew or like people I don't see, it's like great to stay and see everyone else because you're not with the bride and groom. Anyway, if it wasn't like my squad, I'm getting out of there after the food.
Yeah.
Unless you took away my food.
Yeah. I mean, we're also like not dancers. We're not trying to like break it down on the dance
floor. Oh, you're not?
No.
You guys don't like to dance?
We like to.
I'm out there. I'm hammered.
Yeah.
I'm hammered.
He's swag surfing. He's baby bopping. Those are his two dance moves that he.
Yep. That's thank you.
Go on repeat.
You're on YouTube. This is the dance move.
Yep.
One arm up. Back
it's a good one.
Do you want to do the swag surf?
No.
Everyone? Okay.
Yeah, let's see it.
I'm sober.
Okay.
Can't do it.
I'll take a video and post it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like depending on the crew, I would definitely stay for the food 100% because that's a free meal, baby.
Yep.
But then, yeah, it's almost like I might take away my damn gift. No, I don't think I would. But it's kind of like, what the hell? This is so weird. It would just throw off the whole evening.
Yeah.
It's not, I feel like people couldn't even go about their night like it's normal because everyone would be like, what? Like, where's the hidden cameras? What's going on?
I don't even know if
here?
I'd be friends with this person afterwards. It's going to be like, you forced me to come to this random city to then.
You leave?
Local, at least.
Yeah, that's
local.
true. It is local. But I'm sure some people had to fly in.
You're right. Oh, if I flew in?
Because actually back in the day, that used to be a thing where, well, they would, of course, stay for the reception, but it used to be a thing where you would leave that night for your honeymoon.
Yeah.
Which I don't like that. Like, I feel like that would be way too much to, leave while everyone's still there. I wouldn't want to do that. Like you were saying earlier, like to be there till the end of the night, especially if I'm hosting.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to fly I mean, maybe back in the day they were just driving to the location, but having to drive after drinking and like, I don't know, that just sounds awful. So I just think that would be a terrible thing to have to leave right after your ceremony when all your friends and family are there. Little cuckoo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we actually got the reason why they left.
Ooh,
are you ready?
I'm excited.
It's not going to be good.
Well, apparently the whole reason for that is that my other brother's girlfriend, so 3 brothers, the other brother's girlfriend is pregnant, and they were going to announce that they were pregnant and their engagement at the reception. Only my parents had known. I didn't even know. I don't know how my brother who was getting married found out, but someone told my aunt and uncle about it, and they started spreading it around to the other guests, which upset my parents and my brother and his girlfriend. The groom and his wife don't want to be parents themselves, but this seems extreme over a pregnancy. Further, I don't understand why they would skip something that they had paid for. We were embarrassed, especially my parents, and lots of people were upset, especially my brother and his girlfriend. There was lots of drama for nothing. It's only been one day, but the fallout is bigger. I don't understand why my brother and his wife would do all this. I honestly don't. Okay. What do you think about that?
Again, a weird way to
Wait. They're having a baby, boyfriend and girlfriend, his brother's girlfriend.
Yes. So the third brother, and they were going to take away this moment because that is a huge faux pas.
Weird move.
You do not announce anything or try and take the spotlight when it's someone's, especially when they're paying for their occasion. Like this actually happened on Vanderpump Rules. Did either of you guys watch Vanderpump Rules?
No.
I didn't know it.
Well, this one couple rented out, and I think it was an engagement party, but it was like the size of a wedding basically. And another couple decided to get engaged during not the reception, but like earlier in the day, and then they didn't want to tell them that they got engaged, but the word got out, and then they were upset and pissed off that anyone would do anything around their thing that they paid for. So it's kind of like you're hijacking this like beautiful scene, either like scenery or moment on someone else's dime. But I also do kind of understand wanting to announce something when all of your family is there, and probably some of family friends too.
But why couldn't they wait till like after, like when the dancing started, or even later that night? Then
next day, breakfast.
Yeah, the next day. I would think maybe like at the brunch the next day, because then I think that as the uncle of the child that's in the belly, that I would be super excited. Yeah. That would have been a great time to do it at the brunch. I mean, maybe they weren't having a brunch though because it's local. So I feel like more destination ones have like the 3 days.
I truly wouldn't even care if my sister announced at the reception that she was pregnant too.
Yeah, I was just thinking I'd be happy. Well, the only thing is, it weird that I don't know this situation, but it was a girlfriend and not a wife.
Well, they were announcing their engagement too.
Oh, it was the engagement too. Okay.
But he did say that
engagement is quite a announcement.
Bride and groom are not planning to be parents themselves, so I don't know why he added that part in. I don't really think that adds anything, but all the comments were completely on the bride and groom side. One of them says, absolutely, the brother that was going to make his announcement at his brother's wedding is the one to be mad at. Also, I don't know why everyone is so mad the married couple skipped the wedding. Everyone still experienced the free food and alcohol. Groom knew said anger would be misdirected and honestly minimized. Oh, okay. So they're kind of saying that if he had stayed and gotten angry, people would have been like, why the hell are you angry about this? And kind of made him feel stupid about being angry. So then he's just like, I'm going to leave.
Who's making these comments? None of them.
Not to mention the couple paid for the reception. Who the hell are you to be embarrassed? They didn't do shit. Newlyweds for the win. So everyone's like egging them on because
they left. First of all, here's the craziest part. They didn't learn about it that day though. They should have approached them when they learned weeks ago and been like, don't make an announcement.
Yeah, because they changed their honeymoon.
Was it weeks ago?
How'd they know to change their honeymoon plans?
Oh, you're right. That's such a good point. Yeah, why couldn't you just nip it in the bud in a response, like mature way? Been like, hey, first of all, super excited to be an uncle. Yeah. So happy for you guys and that you're going to get engaged. I can't wait to celebrate. why are you going to announce this at my reception? Can you do it the next day? Or like, can we do it before, even the night before? Like,
Seems
because
logical.
I understand you wanting to do it when all the family's together, because this doesn't happen that often. But like, I know my wife's not going to be really happy about this. Like, maybe she doesn't really like your girlfriend or whatever. Like, it seems like maybe there could be a little competition between them or something.
Yeah, there's something else going on.
Agreed. They don't like each other.
Why on earth wouldn't they? You're so right about them knowing about it for so long, and then you're going to do this and leave your own party that you paid for?
Yeah, who's
There's
commenting
some
on their
psycho.
side?
This is reminding me of like when you spite didn't eat your Taco Bell. I don't know. I'm having some PTSD about that.
Yeah, you ruined it for yourself, really. And that's what this couple did. Like, they're doing it out of spite.
One of the worst comparisons I've ever heard. There's no premeditation. That was an in-the-moment spike.
All right, I just said there's elements that
No, I get that. Because you're really just fucking, what is that expression? Like, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. Isn't that an extra? I think that works for this.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to spite somebody else, but you're the one that's ending up in the worst situation. And even though I think they were in the wrong to try and hijack your moment, now your friends and family are going to be like, you guys are so fucking weird.
Yeah. I don't know if your quote was exactly right, but exactly what you were trying to say is spot on. Yeah. We got to look that up. Cut your nose to spite your face.
To spite your face.
And you might be right. Well done.
Cut your nose off to spite your face is an idiom that means
it.
to do something that harms yourself while attempting to hurt someone else.
Yeah, well done.
Can't believe I got that right.
Spot on, actually.
She didn't miss.
It is crazy how much Reddit was completely on this person's side. But that's the thing. Sometimes when I read comments, I tend to like get on that person's side too. But now that we're really talking about it, this is fucking crazy. But the top comment does say, I think your anger is misdirected, wrong brother. I do think that it is fair that they shouldn't necessarily be like angry at the person, because it's like we're just saying, they're hurting themselves more than they're really hurting anyone else.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the rest of the party. I mean, I guess it could be embarrassing in a way, but I can also be like, yeah, you should also be annoyed with the brother that was trying to hijack the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I would handle it differently.
Oh, you think so?
And I'm sorry, but going back to leaving the cell phones, that's crazy, is it not?
So weird. I almost respect it.
You need your cell phone.
I'm not with my cell phone for 10 minutes. I panic.
What year was this written?
It's pretty cool.
In 2004, when cell phones weren't a necessity? Like, that's crazy. No, it was last year. Nuts.
I think it's the coolest thing they did.
So I would say we are on... Well, are we on the guy who's posting side? No.
No. I think the Newlyweds botched big time.
So we do think he has the right to be embarrassed?
They're like, in the Taco Bell story, they're the most wrong. So they're like Danielle. And then the other side, the brother, also in the wrong. Like me spiking.
I think they all might be in the wrong.
Yeah. But the Newlywed thing is crazy. That's crazy.
Okay, so we're mostly on the OP side, though, the guy that posted. If you guys have any strong opinions on this, right on in, honey. All right, now we are going to play the Newlywed Game. Okay, number 1. Who said I love you first? We'll start off easy because I hope you guys know this. Okay, ready, set, show them. Wow. It was Danielle. What's the asterisk?
He actually said I love you in this condo.
Wait, what?
Yes. It was
in April?
It was the couples weekend that we went on.
No way.
Yeah, and he was like really nervous. The first night he was like stuttering to me, and I was like, what's going on here? And then I picked up on what was happening. And then the next night he was stuttering again. And I was like, I'm going to have to say this first, I guess.
That is exactly what happened. She knew. I was like sweating in bed, and I'm like, what is going on?
Hi.
And she sensed
how are you doing? I really enjoy spending time with you. And
No, it wasn't that bad. But I was being really weird. Really weird.
Oh, okay, cute. That's a good little asterisk. What is their pet name for you?
That's so embarrassing. Bunky?
Yeah, that's my name. Bunky. And why am I called Bunky?
You gotta be kidding me. Did you have inside info? This is fucked up.
No, is that what
my
you wrote?
image is gonna
Let me see it.
This is not good for
Bunky.
my image.
Bunky. Okay, what happened? How?
All right, so she's always always doing something like laundry, seeing a friend, bouncing around, like the most active. So she's a bunny, and bunnies are cute. She's a monkey because she's so handsy. Like I've never had someone like she just can't wait to like pop a pimple, like pick something off my back. Like she's a sicko and her hands are always touching me. So the monkey was grabby. No, yeah, that's Bunky. Yeah,
Bunky, that's Bunky, baby.
I was thinking she also kind of looks like a turtle when she's got her glasses on and her hat. So I thought she might do turtle.
Yeah. So if you had an AI image of me, he made one that's like part monkey, part bunny, part turtle. Yeah. But I'm Bunky.
Oh my God, send that to me. We'll post that too. That's so cute. And she's spunky.
And it wasn't even AI. I made it myself actually.
Wait, really?
It was before. Yeah.
How?
The little snippet combine.
Oh my God, send this to me. I need to see it. All right, well, and since this is Diaz for Drama, we got to get into a little drama here. What is their worst habit? So I'll say for Andrew, what's Andrew's worst habit? Spiking Taco Bell in the corner. All right, let's see what he wrote. No, let me see it.
Procrastination with like little to-dos. Like she's never said this, but like if I have to like book a flight or something, it's like I just let that linger for weeks, and she does everything like she'll pull up her phone. I hate doing stuff on my phone, so I'm pretty bad.
The
with
reminders,
like, little to dos, and she does them most. I imagine that would bother her. She's never actually called me out for it.
Yeah, I think that would actually be mine. I wrote down like I don't like when you leave your gym clothes out.
But but those are out. I'm a very clean guy.
Yeah.
Very clean.
But he likes to wear them twice or and dry out.
Dry out. Now I'm never going to keep my clothes on. I'm going to put my dirty clothes on top of your clothes, and you can just have them soak.
All right, now, who has the most exes?
Definitely her.
Danielle?
Yeah.
But I'm not like a serial dater either. We both weren't serial daters.
Yeah, you both just didn't have too many.
Yeah, we both. Yeah, we met later in life.
What did you have? How many did you have?
1 in college, and then 3 after college before Andrew.
All right. And last, because it's the Newlywed Game, you have to do this. Where is the craziest place you've made whoopee?
Why is my brain not working?
That's a good question.
Or maybe you guys are just missionary bed folks.
Holy smokes. Maybe that means we need to be more
adventurous. Well, they did get together after their 30s.
Yeah,
so
I was adventured out.
Yeah.
All right, I have one I'm going to say. Our childhood rooms, with the families.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not really like that crazy.
Did you guys have like your medals and like old photos and stuff? So you both have childhood homes like that?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Like my diploma is still like, it's like framed above my bed. I'm like, this is weird.
And did either one of you ever have sex in your childhood beds before, like with high school boyfriends?
Oh, you did?
No, not in high school. This was just after college.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
In high
school?
In high school?
Yeah.
Oh, naughty boy.
What was yours of the weirdest place that you've had sex?
Did he write it down?
I didn't write one down.
He didn't have one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's my homework assignment for you guys.
Yeah, I give it.
You got to find somewhere crazy to make whoopee.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah,
I'll check in with you guys.
We've told each other stories of where we've had our wild sex stories like before we met each other.
Yeah, you need to have your own homework assignment.
We have many years left. So.
Yeah, exactly. You've got time, but let's do it while we're young.
Yes,
and bunky. Well, thank you guys for playing. Now we just have a quick listener write-in here. She goes, it's not super juicy because I asked for some wedding stories. She goes, not super juicy, but I'm a very busty gal, but also a very petite girl. So my boobs look massive on my frame. I'm 5'2", 125-ish pounds, and wear a 32G bra. I had my dress tailored in the front to tastefully show my bust, but not in the way that my dress was supposed to be originally. I did this more so for myself. I don't like to draw attention to my bust more than they already have attention drawn to them. Well, to save money, my mom had her friend do the tailoring, so she added a mesh panel to a very plummeting deep V dress. She did fine, I thought. We did multiple try-ons, but on the day of the wedding, on the way to do my first look pictures, the mesh panel started unraveling, and I pretty much just had to rip it out and let the girls do their thing. We've got some pictures.
Andrew's excited.
I know. They look great though. I'm honestly thankful that the mesh fell. Okay, so here's the mesh. I'll post these on Instagram stories. Beautiful dress.
Yeah, stunning.
And then they fell. And honestly, I'm happy about it. Those are some nice boobies.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
I think that's all you got to say. That's it.
Okay.
Without being creepy.
Okay. That's it.
But they're still happily married. They've got 3 kids. Aww. Cuties. Now, did you have any wardrobe malfunctions on your day? What dress did you wear? I don't even think I saw any pictures from your day.
I ended up wearing a dress that I've loved for like years that my friend's older sister wore as her rehearsal dinner dress to her wedding in Italy. And I'd like always thought about this dress. So when I was thinking about my wedding dress, I was like, to my friend, I'm like, can I text her older sister to see if she still has her rehearsal dinner dress? Like, that's the dress I want to wear.
Oh my God, that's
perfect.
It's
Monique Goulier, and it was beautiful and whimsical. It had it was white with like these different birds and flower pattern and like a color. Mm-hmm. So I liked that it was different, but it still looked really bridal.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any wardrobe malfunctions.
Did you have to get it tailored?
I did get it tailored a little bit, but
she was okay with that?
Oh yeah, no, I bought it from her.
You bought it from her. Okay, nice.
But amazing. Yeah, I mean, I only wore it for the pictures and the ceremony, and then I put something comfy on. So
after?
Yeah.
Was it still white?
It was still white. It was just like a white dress.
I know it's hard being in those really uncomfortable dresses because they can be really heavy. And then like she was saying, it's probably uncomfortable to, especially in front of your family and friends, to like have your boobs out, especially women that have larger breasts. Like I'm sure they're already self-conscious about it, especially at a young age. When girls develop so young, they want to kind of like blend in, and then they have these like creepy men staring at them at such a young age. Yeah. So I get wanting to.
I never had that issue, so I feel like I'm on the complete opposite spectrum, where I'm like, boys, look at me.
Yeah, look at me.
I don't have boobs.
I know. I didn't grow boobs till like college or something.
Same.
I think it was just from the alcohol. Like I just gained weight, so then they appeared. Well, actually, the most recent wedding I went to, the bride had her period. And she had a beautiful dress. It was like her reception dress after the fact. It was gorgeous. And luckily they were able to get it out, but she bled through the dress.
Oh my God. I was praying not to have my period during, just because I'm moody and hormonal and unstable for a short window.
Oh yeah. I mean, aren't we all?
I feel like it's more volatile for some girls than others.
It is. Yeah, it definitely is. Everyone gets affected differently. It also depends on like what birth control you're on and things like that. But you didn't during that time.
I had it like a few days before, so
then that's like perfect. The best time to do it, because then you're like,
that was perfect. We needed that.
Yeah.
Period with a white dress.
No
matter how much
because you're not thinking about how many hours was I like, do I need to change it, whatnot, and you really got to be on top of that.
And also, wearing a panty liner or a pad, like that's so uncomfortable and makes you feel like the least sexy ever. Because it feels like you're wearing a diaper.
Pads should be illegal.
But I would feel like if I was a bride, I would want to wear that as extra protection. Is what I mean, like with a tampon or a cup. But I would just feel like a baby running around.
With a diaper.
Really
on.
gross.
You don't feel beautiful.
Cute.
No,
I got it.
You don't
not at all. So we have one final story here to wrap things up.
Okay. Let's hear it.
All right. My best friend of 10 plus years had a shotgun wedding during lockdowns. This is a little bit older of a story. The person she married is someone no one in our friendship group has ever met or heard about. And she was vague when we asked her how long they had known each other. For over 2 weeks, we tried to get her to show us a picture of him or try to get him to join in during our Skype hangouts, but she made excuses each time until we gave up. Another of our friends suggested that we have a mini baby shower since it would give us the opportunity to meet her husband and for us to see her new house. It took us a whole month to convince her to agree, but she eventually did and invited us all over. It was fun, but when we asked her where her husband was, she made an excuse about how he was busy working in his office and she couldn't disturb him. We were at her house for about 6 hours and he didn't come out once to say hello or even eat. After the baby shower, most of our friends were speculating if the husband even existed or if he was like really ugly or something and she was embarrassed to introduce him to us. We started pestering her again and she got really upset with us and blocked everyone for over a week. I'm going to be honest, I feel incredibly hurt that she won't even show us so much as a picture of him. It feels like she doesn't trust us. It's like she's starting a whole different chapter in her life and she doesn't want us to be a part of it. She didn't even tell us about her marriage until a month after it happened. I don't want to make her feel pressured, but I would like to tell her being so secretive is hurting our friendship. What do I say to her? And should I talk to her privately or with our other friends present?
Definitely talk privately because then she'll feel like she's getting ganged up on. And clearly she's hiding or she's insecure about something. So you have to go in delicately. But it is like red flags all around.
Beyond red flags. That's so shady.
So what do you guys think could be the reason?
Maybe there's no man. She got a what's it called when you get pregnant? Sperm donor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why would she
not be open about
that? Because
she's like, maybe like I didn't find a guy and she's, I don't know. Or he's the worst dude ever.
Or he has like social issues and he's gonna like, she's nervous that they're gonna judge him or whatnot.
Well, it reminds me of like the Brady Bunch. Like he goes to a different school, Jan Brady, George Glass. Do you know about that? She makes up a boyfriend.
I don't
George
that.
Glass. All right, I wrote down some reasons why I think it could be. Okay. All right, ready? It's someone that they know. It's either a friend of theirs that it would be really weird that she was dating this guy or one of their exes.
No, but it would have gotten out already.
I think from another friend group. Or they're just maybe keeping it secret from everyone.
I like that because it is so bizarre that they would hide it that long.
Not even a photo?
Maybe it's her cousin.
That was another one of my things, and that's what Max said.
It's a family member. Yeah. That's fucked up.
That happens. Literally one of my friends is dating her cousin. I think it's not first cousin, but like second or something, like pretty close. Or it could be first. I don't know. It's creepy though. Someone that did something illegal, perhaps. I don't know, like maybe a sex offender or something. So then they don't want him to have, like, because you can look that up.
She never told him his name?
No, I don't think anything. Because that's the other thing. One of my cousins, she met a guy out and she was like really excited about it. And they got each other's numbers. They were planning to go on a date. And then she Googled him and he had some sort of relations with one of his 17-year-old students. And that was out there. And she was like, oh, I'm not going out with this guy.
Yeah.
That's a tough
So
look.
it could have been something like that.
Okay.
It's a politician's baby. And they can't let that out there. It could be someone that's married, you know?
Yeah, it could be someone that's married. I could see that.
A real life vampire. So he can't come out during the day. Is that what their thing is?
It's gone on for so long, it's plausible.
She got abducted by aliens and impregnated. And it's all a cover so that they don't sacrifice her.
Oh, I'm leaning towards he is still married and like
has a family.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning. What are you leaning towards?
I'm so confused.
The aliens?
I am so confused. I don't think it's an ex and nothing makes sense.
Do we think she's even actually pregnant? Like, is she lying about this too?
Oh, yeah, we're dealing with a
child in the mix. All right, now let's go into their behavior, the friend's behavior. Do we think that this is being nosy?
No, not at all. If you're really, truly friends with this person, you want to care for them and know what's going on in their lives. And if they're just shutting you out, then it's not friend being nosy.
So we have a comment here. Silent Siren 39 says, maybe just mind your own business. She's pregnant and all you cared about was poking your noses into her private life and her husband. Have any of you considered he's just a socially anxious person and isn't obligated to meet her nosy friends? You forced yourself into her house and made it very clear that the only intention of why you were there was to be nosy, not actually celebrating her pregnancy. That's just incredibly rude. I would block you guys too. Now, I was talking to Max about this earlier because I was like, another comment was sort of saying like they don't owe you anything. They're not out, and like this one was saying they're not obligated. And I was like to Max, I was like, don't you feel like your friends are obligated to know things? And he was like, yeah, if they want to be friends with you. And I think it's just weird when people say like they don't owe you anything. And it's like, well, we're friends.
Yeah.
We're best friends. So I think it would be weird, like, oh, I don't owe you an explanation about my life. Okay, well then I'm probably not going to continue a relationship with you because that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be friends anymore. If you don't know the person's husband, you're not friends.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could almost like, I think the best thing is your solution of like talking to her privately, putting your maybe nosy feelings aside, and like, because I know I would be like, so like my friends and I would be like talking about this all the time, I'm sure, and being like, oh my God, who is he, you know? But like putting that aside, and I think you need to say like, I hope you're safe. Like, I'm kind of concerned for you now. You're being very secretive. Is everything okay? I think like coming to her in a way that's not centering yourself, because it's not like, because if you come to her being like, it's weird that I haven't met him, I thought we were best friends, and making it about you, like make it about her and be like, is everything okay in your life?
Yeah.
But I do think, what?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go the communication route. If it was my best buddy, I'd be pretty scared. I'd do a stakeout and just make sure everything was okay.
Totally.
Wrap him in a room.
I'm actually thinking about like I'd stay around the corner in a car, hat on, and I'd be like, I can't wait to see this girl.
I think I would do that
have
too,
to
honestly.
do that. Yeah.
Track his like, do you find my friend? Track his location.
Everything I could do.
Out.
Because she's obviously triggered, and I think the more you push her, the more she's going to pull away.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure, if you're her best friend, you got to make sure she's safe and good. The best way to do that might be to actually check on her secretly.
Yeah, secretly. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the most mature route, but oh, the other thing that you could do is, if you're best friends, I'm sure you have her family's information. Reach out to the family. I'd be like, okay, hold on a second. Who's this man that she married legally and is having a child with? Like, have you met him? Because I'm worried, like, she's not letting us meet him. So I'm hoping she lets you.
Step one.
Because otherwise, this is a problem. That is a problem, to like her living with someone that is like either forcing her to not allow her to introduce him to her friends, or there's something weird going on that she's not comfortable introducing him to her best friends. So I think going to the family / stakeout is a must. So family first.
Stakeout.
Then stakeout. So whoever's listening and submitted this, report back.
I need to know what happened.
Yeah, I know.
Really.
I'm so mad that there's not an update on this one.
Can we write, like, do you have an update on this? Or no?
A lot of people did. And it's an older one too, so I just got it from Reddit. I got it from Relationship Advice. But
she got murdered on her stakeout.
I know that might be what it was. By the vampire. Do it during the day maybe, because he's going to be asleep then.
Definitely.
But also, if the family says, oh yeah, we've met him and we really like him, then I guess just end it.
Yeah.
Because I do think it was a little bit, I can understand where some of the comments are saying where like it doesn't seem like you had her best interest of like wanting to throw her a baby shower because you kept pushing it. Does feel like maybe they were being a little bit like nosy about it, but also I think it's understandable.
Yeah. If you haven't met them, if you met him and they got married and pregnant, that's a lot of like life changes.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, I think it's funny that they're like, or he's really ugly. I remember my friends and I used to talk about this. All three of us were dating guys that like weren't really that cute. And like one night we were drunk and we were all just like, the three of us were hanging out at home, and we all like confessed to each other that we hate introducing people to our guys or showing them pictures, because we're like, yeah, they're all kind of uggos.
That is brutal. I hope those three guys don't know who they are.
My mom did finally say, like, when I started dating Max, she's like, I'm glad that you're like finally dating someone that's on your level.
That is
attractive wise.
Why are you laughing? Not saying anything.
Yeah, you should be saying, Andrew,
saying
you're out of my league, if anything.
Yeah. You're right in line.
You're right in line, babe. Give each other a little kiss.
He actually has gotten, I think, more attractive since I met him.
Yeah,
I've elevated his look, the way that he should like trim his beard. So you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you started whitening your teeth because you thought my teeth were white.
Well, now his are extremely white.
Yeah,
I don't even do it that often.
No, they're like glaring.
Yeah,
you're like Ross glowing from Friends.
Yes,
if there was a black light, we'd all know where you were in the dark. That's for sure.
She loves to go back to my pictures like as short as 3 years ago and be like, I wouldn't date you. It's like, I did not change that much because of you. I hate to say it.
I wouldn't have.
She gives herself too much credit.
Yeah, I give myself. Yeah. style, grooming habits.
I agree.
But you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The glow up, the relationship glow up. Someone said maybe she didn't get married. She got pregnant and is trying to not to tell anyone that the guy left her. And then the OP responds and said, but she moved into a new house and I doubt she could afford it by herself. She was having financial issues. Her lying about it would also be so out of character.
Okay.
That was a good theory.
Someone's saying that they recommend cutting ties, that this drama filled is no longer helping their life either. So yeah, I think if like you try all those other things and then nothing comes of it, I would be like starting to question my relationship with this person. Because bye. Bye-bye. It doesn't sound like she values your friendship, and it sounds like there's something darker and weird going on. So
yeah, and I wouldn't want to surround myself around that energy of like,
no. And if he's an asshole and can't even come out for the shower when he's in the house, like that's weird. Sounds like he might be manipulating her at the very least. All right, well, this was so much fun.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys for joining me and giving me all of your tea and vulnerability.
This is really fun.
Let us know the craziest place you made whoopee. I'll give you about a month. You gotta figure it out. I'll check in a month.
Yeah, we'll report back.
The best mission ever.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
I wake up in the middle of the night and you're just like fucking in my room or something crazy.
That crosses mine. I can see the sicko wheels turning.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. And please remember to rate, review, subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram to join in on the polls, YouTube to see our beautiful faces, and maybe TikTok. I don't know if that'll be around. It's the last day. It might be going away tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate you so much. Send in your listener write-ins or voicemails. And remember, you can't spell drama without D.